So now we have a couple examples of what not to do in the interview. So I had a candidate one time who was interviewing for, it was like a senior financial analyst type level position. And I'll never forget, they were interviewing with the CFO of a pretty large company who had been my client for a really long time. And the candidate answered her phone during the interview. And so, of course, the client thought, oh my gosh, it could be, the candidate's school, like
right,
the
emergency
kids
situation,
or something like that.
sure.
It's a totally emergency situation. And the candidate answered the phone, and it was her husband. And so she said, I'm in the interview or whatever, and hung up. And he called back, and she answered it again. So.
That's always one of those things. Put your phone away, leave it in the car.
Yeah. Well, and the CFO was like, well, how many times is she going to answer their phone during the day, you know? And I think that sometimes what you do in interviews, you're obviously going to bring to work. And she just couldn't believe that that it happened twice, and that she didn't turn the phone off after the first time it rang, and she decided to answer it.
I mean, we all forget. So I've had candidates, oh, I'm sorry, my phone's on, and they, have that awareness that, like, sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but if you're answering it twice,
it's crazy. I had another guy that interviewed for a position, and this was actually with the same client. I have a ton of stories with this one client. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's going to use me for recruiting again. He interviewed for a position, and it was the first round interview. So usually you have a couple different interviews and rounds or whatever. First round position, he sat there, and she's like, do you have any questions for me? And he said, well, I'm really wondering, could I have Fridays off? Because I really want to go to get my MBA, and I want to go to an executive program. And she's sitting there thinking, man, I have to hire you first. You want Fridays off and you haven't even been hired yet? That type of thing.